cast of round 5 in the LMP2 Project Cars 2 series. This is currently going to be put onto the Fluxmotorsport channel later on, so you'll be watching this in the few weeks as time goes by, but just for the heads up, thought I should let you know. Anyway, so this is going to be a fun week because we've got a debut driver tonight, which is the relation of RG. He's one of the drivers I'm definitely going to be looking out for tonight. While also Immortalis will be here after missing out on last week. Some other drivers I've been here to look out for is Kerboff. The reason I'm talking about Kerboff is because the championship leader, the person that is only 9 points ahead of Kerboff, is unable to make the race tonight. So Kerboff needs to get as many points as he can tonight so he can get ahead of Spud and basically escape away from him in points if he could possibly do so, hoping to get the quality time, as other than Spud has got 19.1, I believe Kerboff got a 19.6, so the person who got the quickest time around here so far in practice is actually away. So far we actually got the advantage, which is really good for him, but so far I know Immortalis has reached the 19s, HHV's reached the 19s, Kerboff, that's 3 drivers I know that have definitely reached the 19s from what I've heard. We've got other drivers in the 20s mostly, then you're going to see 21s, 22s, and around that, as we've already seen HHV in the 20s to make first place so far in his Marek, lovely Marek behind one of the Orica Exeter Nissans. That Exeter team always goes well with their communication strategies and always trying to make sure that both of their drivers get the best results possible. Not sure which driver's actually behind him at the moment, I believe. Oh, they actually both got lights on, so something about the lights, guys, is when a driver has their lights on during a qualifying session, that means they are on their whole lap. They're going to be going as hard as they can, and the drivers that do not have their lights on will know to get out of their way, so the drivers with the lights on can get on past. So, in situations like this, it's really interesting because both drivers will have their lights on, and because both of them have not slowed down to make space, whatever, they're both going at it. Getting the toe on the straights or the dirty air in the corners. I guess you wait and see if HHV gets any advantage, or, well, Super Revs, who is ahead of him, is, yeah, right behind. So I guess we'll see right now. We'll see Tyjo's now reached first in early 20s. I don't think we'll see Tyjo reach the 19s by the end of this. Okay, there goes McToasty third. I'm still waiting for Tyjo to get the 20s, but whichever okay, there you go. The extra cars let HHV by now. So I still want to see which extra car is actually right behind you. We'll see. Yeah, that's Super in the 21s. No, yeah, Super in the 22s and Revs in the 21s above him. Motley still hasn't put a time in yet, who's on the debut tonight. It's also RG, I'm expecting to jump in soon, but there we go, that's RG now in the lobby. Relation of Muttley, so hopefully they both go well tonight. Wonder if there'll be any team communications like there is on the Exeter team, which I know there. Oh, that looks possibly a spin for HHV, but he recovers it really, really well. It's well done. I didn't think you'd normally be able to recover that, and it's personal experience. I've never been able to recover a spin in that corner so wonderfully. Anyway, go have a look at Tyjo. It's in the 20s at the moment, earliest you can possibly get, in my opinion. You can't get any closer to the 20s than that. Do we wait until we see he gets in the 19s? I'm still waiting for the 19s. We're 9 minutes in. Where's Kerboff in 6th place? I know he's got the 19s as well. I'm going to have a look at him. He's definitely one of my drivers to watch tonight. As there we go, 19.937 as Kerboff. As soon as we go on to him, he's got the time. And he's behind HHV and the extra car that we were seeing earlier as well. Which extra car is it? It is Revs Martin. So he's behind Revs Martin, HHV. And I don't think HHV's behind anyone. So HHV will have the clear space. And no, that's commentator's curse even more as we point the camera on HHV. And that's Muttley flashing lights. I'm unable to tell what the communication would be there because I don't even have to. Okay, maybe he's telling him to go past or something. Oh no, that's not Mongo, that's Justin. Yeah, Justin's trying to make that next debut tonight as he has had an unfortunate retirement during the Monza race. And Dirt Rally also had to retire at the Monza race after a nasty collision with McToasty. That was at the top two corners, and well, that was at the spark of a great battle with HHV and McToasty, as you saw in the middle of the race. They got great drafting in the straights until HHV would, well, yeah, been a parabolica, and then that would cause him to have the first scheduled pit stop of the race, as we see 3 more 19s in the race, with a new pole position of Immortalis, who was away last week. And that is another driver that I was going to mention on who is to look out for tonight, as Immortalis lost a lot of points to gain last week, and while as the commentators curse hits again at turn 3, Immortalis spins. We'll see if that camera trick works again later on in the race, with that 2 cars that we've done. There you go, HHV's in the 19s now, after we've been following him for a few laps, and that's Kerboff now in 3. Kerboff needs to get as high as he can to try and get away from Spiders. We know how quick Spider is, we know how quick Kerboff is. Kerboff needs to get away from Spider as much as possible. He's going to be ahead of Spider after this race, we know that, unless he does not finish. You will get points if you finish this race. So Muttley's still in the pits, unable to set a time yet. I'm not sure if he's still on track. He could be still fixing setups though. He's still got time. There's Rose Martin and McToasty with some track limit setting of Rose Martin going to the pits after that. Would not be happy with what the stewards have sent him based on those track limits. Have a look at Toasty though. He should be heading into the 19 soon. He's one of the quicker drivers on the track. And what I'll also say is he's one of the dark horses. Not because of him being slow. He's very quick. He's very, very quick driver. But he always goes this could be just for me personally, but McToasty always seems to go unnoticed. He'll be sitting in the middle of the pack, saving those tyres so he can do the no stops. I've noticed this so many. Hockenheim is a great example. Silverstone's a great example. And yeah, McToasty would try and go for the no stops. Did you see him trying to warm up these tyres? McToasty himself has actually stated that it takes around 3 laps for the tyres to warm up here. And I reckon you're most likely going to see tyres actually get colder as the race goes on. It's going to be a Hockenheim again, so the drivers will have to worry about cold tyres and what the tyres wearing as the race goes on. Seeing if the drivers will end up changing the tyres or not, well, it's something we're going to have to wait and see to find out. Toasty hasn't got to the 19s yet, so what I'm going to see later on, maybe in the 4th minute, we can check back on him when the tyres are warmed up, as we know how long it takes to take these tyres to, well, get to a happier temperature. We've seen Super take 5th place and Richie 6th. So looking at the standings at the moment, I'm just going to chuck this on my telemetry. So what I'm seeing, some great battles we're seeing on the track at the moment. Is Blakefile also away? So you go, you're going to see drivers like Tiger and Immortalis and Toasty get ahead of Blakefile, trying to fight for that 4th spot, and well, to get a little closer to Richie, because Richie's got that 3rd spot, and he's got it by, he's got it by 10 points at the moment, because we're ignoring Blakefile, who's 4th in the standings. If you are curious on how to check out the standings, go to Championship News on the Discord, and if you're not in the Discord, go to fluxmotorsport.com/join, I believe. If not, just go to fluxmotorsport.com and the join link will be in there. We've got 2 championships in Gran Turismo Project Cars 2 and Dirt Rally. And well, yeah, it's actually, 1 championship in Project Cars 2 now, being this one. But yeah, this week in our Flux Motorsport championships, as we see McToasty spinning that corner where HHV went earlier, that's what I was talking about. And it's really good how HHV was able to manage his car to recover it. And we'll go have a look at Kerboff, or is that Richie, and Richie doesn't have his lights on, but I reckon with how quick he's going, I reckon he might be on a hot lap. But you can see with Dirt and his lights on, that shows he's on a hot lap. But yeah, this week in Fox, HHV wins the Group 3s at Red Bull Ring. Stiggers is currently leading the R5s by 19 seconds, and NZ is putting a dominant performance in both Dirt Rally Championships this season. And then in the NR4s at Australia, Siggers is also in the lead. Then Sean Woodson takes the win at Kyoto in the Super Formulas, as Dirt Rally spins just where his teammate spun earlier as well. So that's 2 corners, turn 5 and turn 3 is where I'm going to see some spins this race, and I'm worried for some drivers here when we get the tyre wear degraded to the more worried state. You're going to see the drivers hopefully, well, not hopefully spin there, but hopefully try and manage the car enough to when they can spin or control the car enough. But Motley's still in the pits there with 2 minutes left. Mainly Motley's just going to try and start from the back and just try to follow the field as they go through the race. This is his first race. Maybe he's not confident about the pace or racing with the drivers as much as the others would be, so he's just going to follow the drivers and try and get up to speed and have the best races he can, then hopefully try and improve as the season goes on. This is Justin's first race back in a while though, so it's good to see Justin at Fluxmotorsport again. Justin was a regular in the V8 Supercars Championship in this time slot last season. He was quite decent in the V8 Supercars, and then above him is Davey, the sibling of HHV, who's now gone to first place. Well done to HHV in that Marek, the OBX Marek. Well, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I was going to say, this is a track I was almost thinking the Mareks would be quicker, but no, we've got the other 2 Mareks retiring at the moment. Will being a reserve, and then Spaceman being as a reserve again. I believe he may be coming back in the later rounds, but yeah, there you go, the OBX Marek of HHV's taken back first place. Still got 3 cars in the 19s. McTosey's gone to the pits, so I don't think we're going to see him go to the 19s. So we want to look at this battle. We've got HHV in a hot lap, Immortalis in a hot lap, Kerboff in a hot lap, who's ahead of Immortalis. So we'll go to watch these guys, and I can easily switch between these guys on the camera view. So I don't think Kerboff has used his lights a lot this qualifying session, so I'm not going to tell if he's on a hot lap though. But based on the pace you can see him going around the corners, you know he's on a hot lap. I can tell this guy is pushing it. He wants to get away from Spud. He needs to get many points away. -9 points at the moment away from Spud from Kerboff. And then Immortalis currently 6th place, battling with Toasty, Tyjo, Blakefile, and then even Richie if he gets close enough with the results he's getting in qualifying. I know he's got the pace to get a great result in the race. If he manages his tyres well enough, I know that's definitely possibly going to get done. But looking at Immortalis, right behind him, losing a little control in that corner. It's not going to be a good lap for him. And spins. That's going to be the end of the qualifying session for Immortalis. Really unlucky there. We're going to have a look at Kerboff. Kerboff seems to be on a good lap at the moment. Uses as much curb as he possibly can. Seeing if he gets onto the front row. That's going to be Justin spinning in the background as well. Luckily, that's forward enough from him to not throw any dirty air into Kerboff's way. Hoping he can get 12 seconds left. He's going to get another lap out of this, possibly. I don't think he's going to make it. We're going to have to wait and see. 6 seconds here. Kerboff's not going to make it after this 5 seconds left. Kerboff can hopefully get 2 seconds. No, 2 tenths to get ahead of Immortalis, then a few more to get HHV. And Kerboff unluckily does not get ahead. He keeps that 3rd place spot. HHV as well. We're going to go to have a look at Toasty. Now, I said we're going to come back to him later on, and it is now later on. And he's ended up going into the pits, and he spins on turn 9. Really unlucky. Toasty, I can see him go, but there we go. RG's getting through his last laps. We'll see where Rez Martin is. Rez Martin stays in 9th. We'll see how RG goes. Good luck to RG, and Muttley's now out of the pits. RG's sibling trying to make these qualifying times and get comfortable with this setup. Justin's now gotten a little closer to Davy Jones, if you notice, on the 2nd spot on the times in change. Revs, no, that's RG heading through the last sector, getting it to turn 9, so we're trying to get that apex as close to the curb as possible. That curb is a little taller than you can see on the screen, so that will slow you down if you hit the curb a little too much. So hoping he can get a little closer to dirt, and seeing on that timing board, he's less than some hundredths off, and he does take dirt, sending dirt to 8th place. Well done to RG, taking that 7th spot. Not moving up a grid spot, but that will be HHV taking the first point of the night so far. Well done to you, mate. And where is Tyjo on the board? We had 14 in the lobby. Something's happened to Tyjo. So we're going to see the drivers going out of the quality, but something's happened to Tyjo. While we wait for the race to advance, We've got all the drivers in the pits. We should be able to head forward into the race. And then we go, RG's disconnected. That's really unlucky. RG was doing well there. No, that was based on earlier, but where's Tyjo gone? As we've got, yeah, HHV, as we've got Tyjo now joining into the commentary box. I guess we're about to find out. Tyjo, what's happened to you?
Hello, mic check.
Hello. How have you felt in quality? What's happened to your car?
I can hear myself. So anyway, what's happened is that my game froze 8 minutes to go. I had no choice but to restart my game. By the time I went back, it was too late. So yeah, that was it. It was 2 minutes 45 left by the time I entered the lobby. Wouldn't let me in. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that's really lucky, and I was hoping to see because you were in that good battle with Blankfile and standings as well as Richie and Immortalis and McToasty.
Yeah,
So I was going to be looking forward to you in that battle, but just noticed something that Takua sign is don't crack under pressure, and well, all of these drivers are under pressure right now, especially Kerboff.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know who got pole. Let's see. I think
HHV got pole. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
only by a few hundredths as well compared to Immortalis.
Oh yeah, I think Kerboff has what it takes. I think he has the pace overall to take the lead. Hamish has to pit for sure, and I don't know if Kerb is able to fuel save, or I don't know if that's his strategy at all. But
he is running the Nissan, so I think he'll be fine. But
yeah, he'll be fine. 32 or 33 laps, I think, running overall, and yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting race. Gonna be a lot of separation between the drivers, I bet.
I definitely agree. It's something I've mentioned during the qualies. We've got 40 seconds left for the drivers to get their setups right. Is that with Spud away, Kerboff's 9 points away from Spud in the standings. So with Spud away, I think Kerb's going to be trying to get away from Spud as much as possible with how quick Spud is and how quick Kerboff's. I really want to see if Spud can catch back up to Kerb after this race. The only way Spud can keep the distance is, well, if Kerb finishes at the back or doesn't finish at all.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think with Spud out of the game, it's now gonna be all to play for, really. Who's gonna grab that #1 spot back?
Yeah, we've seen Danny in the comment section saying good morning and good evening. Yeah, that is evening to me and afternoon to Tyjo. Or is it afternoon for you? Oh, we got the race to go.
5 in the air. Are they on their way? I can't see anything.
Go to my YouTube and have a look. That's what you'll see.
There's a delay.
Yep, so we got HHV with a great start at the moment. Kerboff's gotten even better into second place with Immortalis heading down the inside. Got the advantage of Kerboff. A little contact between those two, and Kerboff gets the lead ahead of Immortalis. It's exactly what he wants at the moment with Richie in 4th. McToasty takes 5th, and Supercrusher still holds 6th place. Dirt Rally overtakes RG at the moment. We've got 2 wide heading into turn 3. RG almost takes Immortalis. Immortalis loses a few positions now with Richie now taking that 3rd place position with Blankfile gone. That's exactly what Richie wants.
Oh, an absolute great start from everyone, I think. No incidents coming to turn 3. A very tight, almost 90-degree corner there. So glad to see their drivers coming out unscathed from that. Oh, see his Kerb looking to dive down the inside. No, he doesn't try. It's only the first lap.
I was almost thinking he was going to, but he's talking about how much pace he has. He's getting so close to HHV at the moment. And wow, this is exactly what we were just talking about and what I'm expecting. HHV is going to be saving fuel later on with the Marek, but we'll have to see how much Kerb pushes with the tyre temperatures and the tyre wear as the race goes on. It's going to be a great game to play out. We see Richie and Immortalis are going to have a great battle. Cameron just needing to focus on him, but yeah, Immortalis is going to be taking RG in the next few corners, I believe. But something I really want to look at is Dirt and Revs Martin.
Bit of a delay there. I can't really catch up what you're looking at, but from my screen right now, they are nose to tail, looks like, and oh, someone's alongside each other. Who was that? I think HHV and Kerboff side by side into turn 1.
Oh, yep, and into turn 2 and 3, they're actually still going. And what we were talking about is Kerboff almost taking the last 2 corners, but that is contact into turn 3 almost. I think Kerboff's going to get Hamish into turn 3. Can Hamish get him back into turn 4? Not really sure, but yeah, that's a 3 positions made already from Kerboff after Immortalis took him in the first straight. This is close racing all around.
Great racecraft from Kerb, absolutely plants his car to where he wants it to, but obviously he has to back it up at this stage of the race. He has fuel to save. and might be a little bit of a lift and coast, but from my experience, last time we drove these cars, and a bit of side-by-side action with who was that? Quality is very low here. Is Hamish and someone else?
Yeah, and
there in
Richie,
the...
and yeah, Hamish was able to defend the position into turn 5, and I thought Richie was going to get him, but yeah, Richie's actually slowing down a bit with Immortalis able to catch up now.
I think you have to take over, but the delay is kind of bad.
Yeah, with a few seconds. Yeah, and Justin's actually made a few positions up as well earlier. Something must have happened to RG. But yeah, now Justin's made it to 10th place, hoping to catch up to JMG. And then really close, we've also got Super and Dirt Rally, after Dirt Rally must have taken Revs Martin earlier on. But yeah, Super and Dirt Rally in 7th and Super in 6th. What do you think is going to be happening with strategy-wise in all these drivers?
Oh, I think obviously it's the same as any other race same as Hockenheim, same as what was the last race we done? Yeah, Monza, same as that really. Go to the end, and if you're in the Nissan, obviously you'll be planning to go to the end, because you can't really be pushing these cars to the limit each lap, because once you do that, you'll be wearing your tires down, because you'll be planning also to coast these tires to the end of the race. 45 minutes, remember, so they're gonna be worn down more than halfway, or even down to the last bit of rubber they have, or what it says in the graphic anyway. So yeah.
Exactly right, and we've still got 2 battles at the moment I'm really looking forward to see as well. Richie and Immortalis, and then Dirt Rally and Super in that top 6, and then top 3 fight for the podium. But yeah, we've only got 1 Merrick at the moment, and then 2 Oricas. I know Revs is actually able to make it on fuel for a few races, and then Super, I know he drives a little more aggressive than Revs, and Revs is amazing at saving tyres and fuel, as like we've seen ourselves when racing against Revs in previous races and championships. We know how good he is going, so if he keeps it clean this race, I think Revs can he's going to be underrated in terms of what he's going to do. I don't reckon, if you didn't see, he's not going to be on pace with like Super or Dirt, but I think things could still be done if he stays consistent.
It's all to play for, really, for all of these drivers, from really experience, or from watching these drivers from the back end of their cars. Just not making mistakes is absolutely key in these cars, especially driving the Nissan, where setup-wise, if you don't know how to set up these cars, you're liable to spin if you're not very accurate with your throttle inputs and your steering as well. And it's an endurance race. As much as it's these cars are made for endurance, a 45-minute race is a sprint race. So yeah, not much time goes by very quickly when you're trying to keep on pace, or when you try to catch someone, that when you realize it's when you needed 1 lap left or 5 laps left to catch the car in front of you, then well, it's all fair game. But lots of battles going on at the moment, I see, but not much action going on so far, not kicking off yet.
I think the drivers will be trying to think about what's going to be happening with their tyres later on. I know, like, exactly what you were talking about. The Nissan guys say, when are we going to the end? But when you actually look at the ending results, you're only going to see about 3 or 2 of these Nissan guys actually make it to the end. I know often see you trying to make it to the end. McToasty and Kerboff have made it to the end nearly every race, except Kerboff ended up pitting at Monza, obviously, with the rain tyres lasting a little less than what the softs normally would, and with how much the rain would affect Monza, that always changed things up. But yeah, so I think we're only going to see around 2 or 3 of the Nissans actually make it to the end. I know the tyre wear's like worse than what you're going to think at this race, and with the cold tyres, they could make people spin. What I've already noticed is turn 3 and turn 5, we've already seen a few spins in qualifying from Revs Martin, HHV, Dirt, McToasty as well. So that turn 5 and turn 3 spots, both on a hill too, so they're 2 corners I'm really going to be looking for as the race goes on and when the tyres have degraded with the drivers.
Oh yeah, they're gonna degrade very badly, I think, once I think Hamish's strategy has to just push every lap. I don't think he's been keeping pace with Kerboff at the moment. He's almost 2 seconds off, or a second and a half off, sorry, but he's I think Hamish had pole. I think he's got 2 poles so far this season.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yeah, so with Hamish, yeah, He's got to push, but this is exactly what happened at Monza. But instead with Spud, surprisingly, yeah, Kerboff overtook Spud straight away and, well, ended up getting a 30-second lead. And at the moment, I can almost see that happening with Kerboff, and that's exactly what Kerboff wants right now. He didn't get the extra point from qualifying, but he could even try and take fastest lap and, well, another first place to try and get away from Spud. But I know Immortals is going to be making a few places in points based on him missing the last race, and, well, Richie in third, he wants to stay that way.
Richie's really good controller player as well. So both on controller players, these two. So it's a battle now on even ground between the two. And Immortalis absolutely almost running to the back of Richie, but absolutely pinpoint with the braking zones, just keeping into the back. Look at him staying in the outside of the dirty air, staying a little bit offline there through the S's. A little bit of a delay. Sorry if I have to catch on, but anyways, through these final two corners that Immortalis has to back off a bit because his car will start to wobble as the car gets inside that turbulent air with these high downforce LMP2 cars. Lots of canards and aero bits as well to really influence the airflow for the car behind. And not much influence with the slipstream as well, from what I noticed with these cars, depending on the downforce setting. But the Marek seems to get the most out of it through the straights.
Yeah, I know the Marek is definitely one of the better cars, or I'd say the best car when it comes to long straights and sweeping corners. It's just the more sharper corners the Marek will struggle at. But even something I'd like to discuss is, well, you're a control player yourself, and what do these two guys that are fighting for the podium need to consider and, well, do that are fighting for the podium? See Mortels struggle a bit there.
Oh well, steady thumbs, steady fingers, easy on those triggers. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because, while we're on the controller, I think we all three of us have different driving styles somehow. It's very weird to say that, but yeah, Immortalis is very aggressive, but very accurate as well, and doesn't seem to be rewarding in his favor a few times. But what it does, he's miles away in the lead. So yeah, absolutely two quick drivers. Richie goes off a bit in the final corner.
Yeah, I just saw that. But he didn't seem to be losing much time from it either, surprisingly.
He's got to get a slowdown for that, I'm sure. He's gone off the green part. You can going into exit of the turn one. You can go all four wheels of the green part there, but once you get two wheels on that red bit there, beyond it, that's where you got to get a slowdown penalty. Because Talas tries to go for a move, now he doesn't. He backs off a bit. He turns in late to try to get a better exit. Let's see if he tries to outbrake him there. Cuts back inside. No, doesn't seem to grab the momentum to try and pass him.
Yeah, and well, yeah, he got a little wide in that corner. I thought Richie could have got the speed to get away from him, but actually, no, yeah, I thought it would have been more of a battle. I actually think I saw a bit of smoke coming out of the tyre of Immortal, so he's locking up the brakes, and that's going to be the worst thing at this track for the tyres. Especially at the start of the third sector and the end of the second sector, being that turn 5 and 6. I reckon those corners be the worst on tyre wear, as yeah, you're going downhill as well and uphill with a bit of off camber as well, or on camber.
Yeah,
I mean,
Immortalis' tires will be begging for help now because he's stuck behind Richie. Yeah, and Immortalis knows he's probably faster, and Richie's just holding him off just by driving through his own lines, and that's the effect of the dirty air. Not much defensive play as much as visually going on, but Richie is defensive. He's just trying to keep him into that turbulent air and not making any mistakes. That's also part of defensive driving.
yeah, and I've seen, especially at Silverstone, it's the greatest example so far of how bad the dirty air can get, especially through like Maggots and Beckett's. We've seen cars spinning based off from dirty airs. We've seen actually Immortalis heading down the inside, can actually make the move, but Curl still stays ahead enough. That's a good try from Immortalis, but it's not going to be good for his tyres. He's able to stay on the outside heading into turn 5. He's got to keep it ahead of him and just enough, but he's not going to make it through turn 5. He's still too wide through into turn 6. He's making the move so far. That's Richie right behind him. What an absolute overtake by Immortalis. Well done to you, sir. Great racing. I did not expect that to see, but that's really good racing. Well done.
All the grip was on the outside there. Grabbed all the momentum. Richie um, going to the curbs there in the exit of that downhill 90 right, and absolutely catching Richie off guard. This little bit of a slide there when you go over the curbs in the exit, and absolutely made the most of it. Pretty close proximity as well to Richie, and yeah, great trust from the car behind as well. So yeah, great racing.
Yeah, and I think with these two battling so hard, McToasty can almost catch up sometime soon as well. You've seen Richie almost losing a bit of time, and I reckon we can see McToasty pulling up soon. We've actually seen Justin taking a pit stop. I'm not sure what it's for, if it's for damage or anything. I think it's for damage based on what his pit crew's doing. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Justin there. It's really unlucky based on this is his second race in, and he had to retire at Monza due to internet difficulties and the storms around his house. That's something you have to face in sim racing, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, but seems as though the grid now with Immortalis just pulling a little bit from Richie, unless Immortalis makes a few costly mistakes that will lead Richie right into his back bottom. But anyway, the field seems to be spread out just a little bit. Now we'll see the fuel strategies play out. Will Immortalis save fuel or push? Will Richie be happy to stay behind and hopefully coast these fuel and tires to the end of the race? And will Kerboff try to do the same? Because what I remember from last time we did this race, Giona, who was in the lead, Bruce got taken out from second, I think, and Giona lost heaps amount of time, 12 seconds at most, coasting the fuel and tires to the end because he was pushing as he was leading the race, and yeah, that's the consequence as well. But only if you're lucky to keep that big of a gap, then you're able to make that plan work.
Yeah, and going through past races here, I've seen Linga Bazinga been one of the drivers who have won this race quite a lot, being in the GT1s and TCs, but in this race, the LMP2s are a lot different with dirty air and tyres and everything, so it's all a completely different game. And actually been looking at Mitosi, just as I was talking about earlier, Mitosi is starting to catch up while Immortalis is making a bit of time. We're all about a second of each other each, as almost catching up to HHV as well. So I reckon this could be a four-way fight for second.
Yeah, if they're pretty much even on pace, I don't think anyone's going to be closing up on each other. If that's the case, one of them has to be quicker than the rest of them to be able to make a difference in this four-way fight, to make things interesting, because in this track it's almost all high speed. The only way to keep the car behind is that you're only 3/10 slower than them, and just, yeah, absolutely nailing the braking points and just keeping him in that turbulent air. But I don't think we're gonna see a pass anytime soon, unless really things start to play out with fuel and tires and so on.
Going to another battle later down the track, as I think we've seen a retirement actually. We're down to 12 cars. Yeah, just noticed.
I think that's just me. Or
no, we had 13 when you dropped out.
I think that was.
I think that's Muttley gone. Yeah, that's Muttley, the sibling of RG. So yeah, Muttley on their debut, unlikely having to drop out. But yeah, we've seen actually McToasty. Yeah, Richie, as we were talking about earlier. Yeah, something. Yeah, something I was saying earlier is McToasty's always been really conservative on his tyres and sat in the middle of the pack and gone with the no-stop strategy, and he's always been able to sit behind the middle of the pack unexpectedly, just popping into the podium while everyone makes the pits. He's been absolutely amazing. You don't see him going crazy on the pace during the race, but what you see is him saving some great tyres and gradually, slowly overtaking the drivers as the race goes on, as we're now 15 minutes through the race.
Toasty's not been the fastest driver in each race, but he's always been the most consistent one when it mattered, I think. And I'm just disconnected from the. But anyway, I think, well, Toasty is gonna be able to make a strategy work. Seeing his pace right now, seeing where he plants his car off the curbs on the exit, doesn't seem to be squabbling in the mid corner. I think he can make this work. Whatever he's planning, he can try to make it work.
Yeah, I definitely I'm not going to be surprised if Toasty can actually get in the podium based off his no strat. As Immortalis takes the overtake of HHV whilst had the camera in McToasty, so can HHV actually get closer down into turn 5 as he takes the inside move. Immortalis looks a little slow, but no, that outside line has worked for Immortalis before, and he's did that before with Richie. And now he's actually gotten away into second place. So while Immortalis lost a few positions going to 4th, he's made his way back into second place. Those tyres are going to be okay as what we're seeing.
There's so much grip around the outside through there. He's going to be able to carry that speed. He's made that move twice now.
I really didn't think the outside line was going to be that quick around there, but yeah.
It's a little bit cambered, and the grip doesn't fall away through the mid corner, so he's able to carry that speed. And Hamish is not be able to carry the speed because he can't be able to run wide in the exit because Immortalis is there on the right. So yeah, that's just the art of the outside move, and Immortalis has executed that perfectly.
So guess what? Yeah, we've now seen Hamish drops 3 positions now. That's like the opposite of what he wants right now. He wants to stay ahead of everyone, while saving his fuel with his Marek. So I'm actually really curious of how this ends up for him. And yeah, that's exactly what you're saying, Danny, in the comments. Yeah, Toastie's very consistent in making little mistakes through races, so he doesn't exactly even need to worry about pace with how consistent he is and with how he saves his tyres as well, as we've seen in earlier races. But I'm just loving to see what happens with Toastie in 4th place. If we come back to this this topic in 15 minutes, I reckon we're going to see something special. No pit stops so far except for Justin, so I'm wondering when the first pit stops will be. Scheduled, obviously. As no, we've seen Immortalis spin, making his way into pits, and he doesn't pit as easy. Yeah, he's not going to go into the pits, but obviously because of how early it is in the race.
I reckon he can make it. Yeah, you reckon he can make it now?
Oh no, yeah, the tail would have hurt his tyres completely. I mean, it might have made the temperatures go up, is what you need, but the wear and the flat spots and that's horrible. As he overtakes Richie as well in 5th place over there in that corner by cutting it, so I'm curious if he gets a slowdown at all, but wow. He recovered it quite decently, to be honest, but McToasty is a second off HHV, and then Richie is a second off Immortalis. So we've got great battles for second place, great battles for the podium, 4th place, and within the top 5, while Curb continues to get away from the rest of the drivers. As Richie's now taken Immortalis on the back straight, as he loses a little control out of turn 4, but we'll see if Immortalis is able to make this move later on, as Richie's known he's done it before. He protects that outside line. He knows what Immortalis has done.
That perfectly.
Yeah, I saw that, and I can only imagine what his thoughts are.
Immortalis will have to get past. Look at Richie, absolutely. It's just like he probably has more downforce is Richie, just keeping that car planted. But Immortalis, from what I know, prefers a very loose car, just absolutely dancing there. So he goes very, very wide there, within the track limits, of course. But yeah, just absolutely foot planted, as always. If in doubt, flat out strategy from Immortalis there. But obviously making those moves work. He's very fair when it comes to drivers, and very close proximity as well. Very lucky to not have gotten away with. Very lucky to have gotten away with that without the lag bubble as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when he overtook Richie while overtaking the track limits, he didn't really
spin there from Richie. There,
yeah, I saw the smoke come across the screen.
With a good run there, but he doesn't seem to be close enough.
Seeing if they go through, I'm waiting for that turn 5. That's all I'm waiting for at the moment. If he can make the time through turn 4 and just wait for turn 5 and 6, that's all I'm waiting for at the moment. And Richie's going to stay on the outside and protect it as he's learned his lesson. And you see it happen again. I'm really enjoying this battle.
He's absolutely under pressure. I think we got a battle now between HHV and Matosi there, I think.
Yeah, we'll go have a look at this. These guys have been in with second, fifth in the fuel from, and knowing HHV, or actually gotten a little close to curb off, as he was actually 5 seconds before earlier. And is that a back marker on the track? Yeah, that's Davy Jones, so he's letting them go by in the straight. That's good sportsmanship. We love to see, obviously, what you should be doing on the track. Goes right behind Toasty and tries to make up his time again. But Toasty, yeah, he's getting really close to HHV now.
Yeah, I think he has to get past now. This is ruining Toasty's tires, but I think he can prefer to try to stay close behind HHV because when you're behind another driver, the slipstream, you can probably save fuel with that as well. It's a strategy you can use to try to save fuel because you're using less power when you're in the slipstream, using more speed with punching the hole in the air or another driver basically.
Now, something I really want to see is the battle with Richie and Immortalis. Richie's got the dirty air of Davy Jones while he's trying to defend Immortalis.
Oh,
so I'm really curious of how this goes. That's actually a good spot for Davy to let him go by, but Immortalis has made a lot of time out of that backmarker situation, and yeah, Davy Jones did the right thing obviously, but wow, Immortalis made a lot of time and got really close.
Yeah, Immortalis is backed off there. He's the same gap as he always was there, falling through the final corner. Just the disturbance of the dirty air, as I say again, through the final 2 turns. You try to see Immortalis make a better exit through the exit of turn 2. Either keeping within
I
the
think he's actually getting a toe here.
He's closing up, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's getting a toe, but they're going to have dirty air of Justin heading into, yeah. Oh, you're not going to really get dirty air here, but still, you're going to have Justin to battle, but Justin's going to let him go on the inside or the outside, is it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely pinpoint there in the brakes.
Yeah, well done.
Very, very close. Like I said again, if I was in Immortalis' position, I would have offset my car. And look, he's going down the inside, trying something.
You can tell he thought about it. You can tell he thought about it.
He's filling up his mirrors, keeping Richie under pressure now, and Richie having none of it whatsoever. Now he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, turn 5.
There you go again.
Oh, they're getting really close through turn 6 as well. They're bumper to bumper almost.
This is where Richie can hold Immortalis off through the final 2 corners. Because his car cannot keep up with that turbulent air. And there you go again, as you see there, Immortalis offsetting his car there.
Richie thought about defending the inside even.
There you go, better exit from Richie.
Can he go down the inside? I don't think he's going to get enough straight line speed out of this, yeah, no. And JMG's also made a scheduled pit stop as well, with 20 minutes left to go. That's something to note of how they go throughout the race. That's the second pit stop.
Very, very wide, there has to be a slowdown.
Yeah, and that's the second time he's done that at that corner.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten away with that just a little bit, but
no, Richie's actually the person with the only penalty on the board at the moment. And Immortalis is the person we've seen going wide out of the battle. But yeah, Richie's actually got a second, so this is even worse for Richie with how close they are.
HHV and Toasty now, a few tenths away from each other. Nothing's changed between those battles, but they're very close. Again, within each other, I'll let you know if the gaps close up even more than that. But yeah, keeping an eye on Richie and Immortalis there. All to play for, really. Immortalis he's very, very annoyed, I think, from that cockpit. Just knowing that he cannot find a way past now. Because when you're the defending driver, it takes you at least 5 laps to know. Oh, look at that!
Oh, can he do it? No! Oh, he is so close as well.
Oh, absolutely close proximity. He knew it wasn't on, but he just knew he needed to try something to try to pressure him into a mistake. Oh, good try though.
He needs to perfect turn 1 to get to him in turn 3.
Oh, Richie there maximizing the entry, kicking the grass.
That's almost a loss of control. Immortalis takes the grass and Richie goes wide. That's bad for both of them.
See if Immortalis tries to outbrake him this time. No, it doesn't seem to be the case. So there, Immortalis taking the later apex to try to get a better exit. And look at that, weaving all over the place, absolutely filling up his mirrors.
I really want to know how the tires are going with these guys at the moment.
Richie goes defensive. No, he does not. And Immortalis tries to outbrake him. No, it does not work.
Oh, you can almost see some smoke out of that lockup too.
Yeah, Richie tries to brake late to try and defend. From Immortalis trying to outbrake him. See there, these guys are very late breakers. I would be braking early, and just to try to keep the tires.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Unless they got their brake bias being additive while they're going on the track, that's even not going to work enough.
Absolutely pinpoint. But Immortalis obviously has more pace. He's keeping it. Oh, he tries again through there. And no, they make contact. And from my screen anyway. And
yeah,
like
me too. But it seems not to affect them enough.
Close proximity with these two drivers. Not giving a single millimeter is Immortalis for Richie, but under constant pressure, he's absolutely taken none of it. No mistakes whatsoever. And see there, nothing's changed with the gap between HH3 and McToasty is not seeming to be closing up from what it looks like. But see there, Richie finally makes a mistake. He cuts across back in line. Immortalis got the better run. Let's see if Immortalis might have lifted a little bit there to try to avoid Richie from rejoining.
Oh, we even thought about the outside move. But
no, it's not close enough. But Richie's just absolutely aware of his braking point.
You see how defensive they're going as well.
Line. Richie not. As you see there, he's taking the outside line. More momentum going through there. He takes the. There's more grip going on the outside for the next corner. See, there's cambered a little bit there. See how the tarmac is shaped there. And two major battles going on for position.
Yeah, and I've actually managed to find McToasty's telemetry on the laptop screen ahead of me, and by what I'm able to see is that the front tyres are below halfway degraded on what we're seeing here for McToasty, so I can only imagine it's like that for the rest of the drivers, or even worse for Richie and Immortalis, how bad they're battling. And yeah, the front tyres are a lot colder than the rears, obviously, too.
It's more than halfway now. They have noticed that it's more than halfway in through this race.
We've only seen about 2 pit stops too.
Oh, big understeer there. Smoke coming off the front tires.
We're actually seeing 2 wide with HHV and McToasty as well.
No, the straight line speed of Hamish is keeping that position as well. 2 battles now.
It's so hard. Which one do you watch? They're both so close.
Okay, so let's examine what's going on here. So the battle between HHV and McToasty has held them up, and is now leading
with
fast
Davy
cars
Jones.
of Richie and Immortalis now to catch up.
Oh no, that's, yeah, RG. Or it's someone. There's a back one.
Oh no, Richie going wide. That's definitely going to be a slowdown
penalty.
penalty.
The dust as well, coming off the tyre.
He has to slow down, or unless he's willing to give up another slowdown.
He's already got 1 second on him.
Yeah. Oh, Immortalis
goes wide as well.
Getting a shocker of an exit there.
No, that's not what he wants at the moment. As that's another pit stop by Justin. Really unlucky on him. McToasty goes a little wide of that corner, and so does Immortalis again.
Yeah, everyone.
We've seen Immortalis go wide there a few times out of that corner, but while avoiding the Stewart's penalties. Stewart's been really considerate with that corner.
Yeah, the track limits that this car can, the track can give you to turn 1. I said can go all 4 wheels off the curb into that green section there. As that part there as they go through turn 3. All 4 wheels off through that is okay, but anywhere beyond that is a slowdown penalties. Immortalis tries to outbrake him. He actually does try to make it. They bump
contact.
And oh, they're contact.
Almost control is lost. Now, how can we go the outside move in turn 5? Can we see it get done? And it gets done again. Immortalis takes the outside in turn 5. How can we go in turn 6? I think he's going to get it done. And yes, Immortalis again. The turn 5 overtake for the 3rd time this race.
No, he's absolutely made that work again. But absolutely
brilliant.
Big risk there. And just willing to make contact and trusting Richie with just... Wow, just risking everything.
Now we're going to see how they take turn 1 again, because we've always seen how different all these 4 drivers have taken turn 1. And what I saw from Toasty last time is that the slowdown seems to go away by turn 3. But they seem to go okay. Yeah, Richie goes wide this time compared to Immortalis. As McToasty's getting really close to HHV at the moment.
Oh, he tries to outbrake him, no.
Yeah, I can see he thought about it.
HHV seems to brake later.
It all turns out to see how they go at turn 4. You can see HSV's almost thinking about taking a defensive line, even through the straight. And Tosti's, yeah, you can see he's not going for it, but he's just taking a look.
No one seems to be going defensive through there. I thought it would be
12
a good
minutes
place
left.
to go
We've seen
defensive.
so much less pit stops than I've been expecting. I really want to know how much fuel HHV's got left as well. Like,
Yeah, I can't.
we can't
see a
see that.
graphic
I've
on
only
that.
got. And Tosti's got 23 litres, but I know that Hamish has got.
Take it, but he's not gonna have enough to try to catch up Curb unless he makes a mistake. Curb lapping much quicker
Tosti
than
goes
the pair of
wide.
them.
Oh, that's Hamish that's going wide.
Let's see now. Let's see the slowdown penalties. Trying to accumulate. Hamish making the most of it. Look at that.
Contact almost made between those two. Richie and Immortalis going really wide at turn 1 again.
Immortalis has actually fallen back behind Richie again.
No, you're actually seeing
trying to make the move
too
there,
wide into turn 3.
Inside.
Immortalis going down the inside.
Oh no!
Is that contact made?
Clipped.
Did Richie get
Clipped
slowed down by that?
Water.
They're going to go too wide by turn 4. And what's going to happen? Whoa, that's really defensive by Immortalis. Wow. You see him covering that inside line so much. But look how close they are. Look how much the contact must have been made by like McToasty and HHV. You see how close all 4 of them are getting now. They're all within a second of each other, almost by Richie getting almost 2 seconds below HHV, but the rest of them are so close. Something has sort of happened between HHV and McToasty.
This is what I've been saying. It's gonna make a difference if the pack behind is gonna be much quicker than the pack battling in front. But that seems to be the case now. Immortalis has the pace. I think has the overall pace within all.
Immortalis goes so wide at turn 1 as well.
Yeah, exactly. All of them getting past the last car. It was a Davy Jones, I think.
I've actually got a theory I've just thought of. HHV is going to be trying to save tyres. So if he can go slow on the corners to keep these guys behind them, that'll bunch them up. But if he can try and save his fuel by trying to bunch these guys up behind him, maybe he can go okay, but it's not going to be enough to him. He has to do it well enough to the point where Tosti can't overtake him. He's got to find some points on the track where he can go slower.
Oh, look at that! Tosti,
but can he do it?
They're cutting across the inside.
He does do it. Second place for Tosti after so many laps of trying to get HHV. But Immortalis is going to be having a look at this as well for the next few corners. But HHV gets him back. Tosti back down the inside. There's a lock up from Hamish. Contact is made. Tosti goes down. Immortalis takes the outside. Wow.
Oh my god, look at this. You see there, Richie falling back behind now from this pack. So it's now going to be... It's still going to be a 4-car battle for the lead. Look at that. There's this wobbling for position. Still holding them up. But, Tosti goes wide. That's still going to be a risk for a slowdown penalty. He'll probably have to lift there a little bit.
Tosti didn't actually seem to get a penalty from this, surprisingly, when I look at his screen, but still it's only Richie with 1 second. Tosti's made time, and Richie's lost time. It's actually Hamish and Immortalis we're looking at now.
Yeah, Immortalis will be looking to get in front of this entire pack. Hamish seems to be faster in very crucial areas like 90 round, I don't know which turn is that, and especially turn 3. And Immortalis will be looking to try and outbrake him through here to try to compromise him for the exit. See, they're looking everywhere, filling up his mirrors, and lucky to not have hit him there again. This is
he's going to go down the inside.
Yeah, he's going for the switchback there.
And he takes it third place from Immortalis. The amount of overtakes this guy has done this race is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Great racing from all of these drivers now. As looking from the rest of the gaps, doesn't seem to be much happening right now.
But now it's Richie only second behind HHV.
Look how much time they've lost out. 3 seconds.
Yeah, compared to Kerboff. Danny, your question was earlier, how much can Kerboff keep this up? And that's your answer. These guys are going to battle, and Kerboff is going to love all of it.
Yeah, Kerboff is going to get away with the race win for sure. But yeah, make sure you're not looking away from this until it is over. Since I
Richie goes a little wide at turn 9.
Yeah, look at that. I think this is going to be the start of the separation.
McToasty taking a lot of time, almost 2 seconds.
Falling back behind again.
Yeah, wow. Now they're really spread out. All within about a lap and a half. They've spread out so much compared to what they were just before.
See, I think Immortalis is doing this on purpose.
I don't know. I mean,
like it's just to give us something to talk about. But,
I don't know, but the tyres wear's not too bad compared to what I would be thinking as I look at McToasie's screen. But it's all just the fuel. I'm trying to think. We can't see how much fuel Hamish has. But
I said this was an endurance race, but look what's happened so far. With
overtake score and battle score as we see Richie get closer to HHV.
Look at that now. Another battle, another pair of fighters looking to
That's a bump!
Look at that!
That's damage for sure!
Richie gunning the better exit.
Hamish's rear end got lifted above the ground, and Richie's going to do an Immortalis to him early in the race, but it's not going to be done. Can it be done into turn 6 on the outside? That's not going to
get it done.
No, that's really defensive on HHV. HHV almost pushes him onto the grass. That's really close. Bumper to bumper action. Possibly damage on the rear end of Hamish and front bumper of Richie. And Immortalis is going to take advantage of this.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Immortalis smells blood from the pair of these two.
Yeah, I really wouldn't know how much damage these other two have gotten.
2 seconds from Curb actually, setting on about 20.9 compared to Curb's 20.6. So yeah, he's looking at pushing now.
Yeah, McToasie's actually got the fastest lap at the moment, so that's going to be really good for him as he tries to make his way at the standings.
And look at that! I think Immortalis is going to go for the inside here. But
can he actually do it? No, Richie tries to go defensive.
Finally goes defensive.
And almost touches HHV in the process. And he does again! Oh! Richie loses time again, that's going to be Richie's front bumper again! Immortalis takes the outside while Hamish has got his front rear bumper taking a little bump. Richie takes his front bumper a little bump. Immortalis takes the outside, it makes the overtake back into 4th place, while Richie's 5th. Immortalis goes wide and touches the grass!
Richie getting the better exit, he's gonna do the thing that Immortalis has done.
He's got revenge. That's a little bump again. Richie almost goes wide.
The brake plates are there.
Oh no!
Immortalis in front there. Hamish will be looking to block, hold him up, and Immortalis now.
Oh, that's too wide. Oh. These three are going at it. Low fuel for Hamish, low tyres for the other two, possibly. Oh my.
Yeah. After Hamish fits, it's now going to be a 3-car. But no!
What happened there?
Oh no! They've gone too close for comfort.
And that's Super Crusher now just overtaken the both of them. Super Crusher wasn't even involved in this battle for the rest of the race, but wow! I mean, that's good for screen time because these guys have got all the screen time this race.
Now going to be potentially a 4-car battle again, but it looks like it's going to be.
You got to consider the damage those guys got.
Well, probably just a little bit, few pounds of air damage if they're too big from what's happening.
It's still going to slow them down in the straights.
Yeah, for sure. But Super Crusher vulnerable now. He's got a slower car, and I think just possibly the worst position, and it's under pressure from 2 faster cars.
Because if that damage doesn't affect them too much, these guys could still try and take Super.
Super Crusher on a different strategy has not pitted, it looks like.
And yeah, the Orcas don't take the fuel as well as Alicia's either as well. But if he's saving it and he's just like revs, I think they can do it. And 4 laps left to go, I reckon a lot of these guys going with that no stop. And they're going to do it well. As McToasie's actually 7th in the points, he's going to make a lot of time going into that 2nd place with fastest lap as well.
Last checked on him, now back to 7.
He's still got that fastest lap too.
Making gains now on Curb, but
actually, that's Immortalis ahead of him. Yeah, Immortalis has got the fastest lap actually. And which is that one of them going in the pits? No, it's not. That's HHV. Yeah, finally taking that fuel after so long.
Well done, well played there from HHV. Absolutely close proximity now.
He did so well.
That's -1 now for the battle for the final podium spot.
Yeah, the final podium spot. 3 minutes left. All for 3rd spot.
Richie has another target right in front of him.
And he goes down the inside, he considers it and he takes it. The damage isn't too bad for the 2 drivers as they both take Super in the process. Super is saving fuel, you can tell.
this is gonna go on till the end of the race. Richie's gonna be trying everything, maybe trying to move that Immortalis has done in an all race.
Cakes a curb a little bit, Richie. Thing to consider about
Yeah.
Supercrusher is he's also playing with a really painful lower back as well, so he's not going to use those chest muscles to actually steer the steering wheel as well, as that'll use his back in the process. So that is something to consider about Supercrusher. So still keeping the top 5 with his lower back pain as well. I think that's still okay finish for what Supercrusher is still doing with the lower back pain.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's still gonna be a good finish as well. The leading car for the convertible collective.
That's what they call each other, with one of them being missing and Spud Mad. But yeah, Rivs Martin has had some good battles with JMG, is what I've seen on the telemetry as well this race, but keeping it in 9th place for JMG. But unfortunately for most of the drivers in this race, not getting much screen time, we've just had these guys having the battle of the season so far.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be a highlight reel for sure.
With only 2 minutes left, it's all for position. It's all for
Supercrusher's going to
points.
be looking for a move when Richie...
Yeah. I mean,
It's not
Super in
over.
8th place. He wants to make it closer to the other drivers. Yeah, Richie loses a bit of time,
Look
and
at that,
Immortalis on the grass.
wide.
These guys are all going to get closer to each other again.
This is now the penultimate lap of the race, probably, as Curb crosses the line. Oh, down the inside goes
If Richie takes him, there's contact made, and Immortalis goes on the bumps. That could be a possible stewards inquiry. Super takes 4th place.
Absolutely. Oh, making the most of that is Supercrusher now, even while saving fuel, it looks like, and getting the pegs and absolutely holding Immortalis on.
Why? This is crazy. That curb off on his last lap, possibly. We're going to have to wait to see how he goes later on, but that's curb off possibly on his last lap.
Look at how much time they've lost behind Matosti as
well.
well.
That's Richie almost losing control as well.
Look at that, they found absolutely no rhythm. But
their front tyres absolutely buggered. Looking at Toasty, his front tyres are almost gone. So I can only imagine what these guys are doing, battling with dead front tyres. That just makes it even more difficult.
Richie going around here, but coming into the account of Richie's 1 second penalty, or potentially 2 seconds now.
It still stayed, yeah, only Richie with the penalty so far. So Richie's actually in 5th place when you think about it. So he needs to stay as far ahead as he possibly can.
Supercrusher braking. Oh, bit of wheel spin there. Supercrusher's going to be alongside.
I reckon Super could get him if he stays on the outside, because that wheel spin from Richie's going to slow him down. But he seems to be handling it quite well. Super takes 3rd, but is it going to stay away from the corner, as Richie's got the advantage of... As you remember, Albon and Hamilton is something I remember in these corners not long ago, and that's what I was almost thinking could possibly happen, as we saw Immortalis almost get on the grass and curb. But yeah, Immortalis, well done there. That turn 5 has handled Immortalis so well.
There you go. It's going to be the final lap of the penultimate lap of this race, this one. Once they cross the line, it's the final lap. All to play for here.
This is definitely the fastest lap as Curb's gone past, and there's no time remaining. So we've got to see what these guys can do. Richie's still got 3rd, and Immortalis still got 4th.
Massively.
And that Supercrusher making his pit.
Oh, about time as
well.
He
tried to save fuel so hard, and he had to pit on the final lap. I can only imagine what he's doing. That's Immortalis going down the inside.
No, that's the end of the race.
That's the end of the race. Oh, wow. Okay, yep. Well, okay, there we go.
Wait, is it?
No, it can't be. No, they're still going quick.
Oh, Richie's run out of fuel.
Yeah, what's happened? Yeah, Richie's...
Oh, no.
No. Richie's got to retire after such a good battle.
Immortalis now. Oh, and it sounded like his engine turned off. Absolutely maximum fuel saving strategy.
No. No, he's kept it... Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, really unlucky. Richie's had to park it off the track. No, and Super's even going to overtake him after having to pit. Super keeps the top 5 position while pitting as well, but that's the worst thing for Richie. As Kurboff takes 1st place after a dominant finish, and Toasty takes 2nd. Immortalis will so far take 3rd as he drags that car to the finish a little slowly.
20.5 from Toasty. Is that the fastest lap of the race?
I believe so. Immortalis had the fastest lap before, but if Toasty's got a 0.5, that's going to be Toasty, yeah. Yeah, that's Toasty with the fastest lap now. But what a race this has been. RG taking 6th place as well. I didn't expect that either. So RG's made a few places up over Dirt Rally. But can
Toasty
Dirt
came out of
Rally
that
actually
battle
take it
there.
back? I don't think so. RG would only have to, yeah, lose some time here.
Well done from the rest of these
As
drivers.
Supercross got a second of
Had much time to
HHV,
practice.
he stayed really close after they both played their pit strategies well enough, but HHV is going to take that 4th place as well. Super's flashing his lights at us. So what a show this has been, and HHV is actually slowing down a bit, but no, he's still going to keep that 4th place. So these guys who had to take fuel, what a battle
Yeah, well
these guys have
played.
played. And Dirt actually took RG, we missed out on that. RG had 6th place, and yeah, Dirt took him back, so we've missed out on that, and RG's tyres must be trembling as we see RG go wide at turn 9. So we share the cameras on these guys, and yeah, and Richie's still in 8th across the finish line.
I wonder why Richie parked there in the exit of turn
no,
1.
that's just horrible. That's really sad. I feel so bad for him. He had such a good battle, and he lost so
Yeah,
many
absolutely.
positions there.
Got absolutely, I think, well, you could say bullied on track a little bit, but absolutely fought hard, and I think
But look how many drivers had no pit. That's much more than I was expecting.
yeah, I think
That's really good. And you see Revs being one of the
well
Orcas
done,
and
fast
Merrick's that was actually still able to save fuel. So that's what I was talking about. I thought Revs was going to be able to do that. But yeah, that's, I believe, McToasty still taking the fast lap over Immortal, snatched it off him later, and then Toasty takes it back away. But yeah, holy moly, what an absolute
DNF.
race that was.
Yeah,
As they'll get the
race
congrats
of the
from Danny
season,
in
I
the
think.
comments, as they certainly deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely race of the season, I bet.
Oh, I
Just
agree. I mean,
pure class.
we couldn't unfortunately share the screen time with the other drivers because the top 6 battle, top 5 battle was just so intense. I mean, we didn't expect Supercross to come into it with all the time they're losing. Oh, that was
No, pure
crazy.
class.
But right on to Kerboff with a dominant finish, hoping to get away from Spud in the standings. He's going to get away from it at the moment, but we'll see how Spud goes later on at Fuji, where we're at next week. With McToasty finishing second is what I was talking about at the start of the race. We would see him play on behind the guide, but unfortunately he actually got involved in the battle and handled it so brilliantly, with Immortalis getting involved in those battles as well. Takes the 3rd spot. We were all waiting to see who got. And then with HHV's pit stop, it didn't affect him too much as he takes 4th place. And Supercross's late pit stop still takes 5th place because of Richie's fuel. Then Dirt Rally overtakes RG on the last lap. We aren't able to catch what happened there, with RG taking 7th. And the sad story of the night being Richie taking 8th place on the fuel. Rest Martin 9th with the no stop. Well done to you, especially with how the Orcas are in fuel. JMG, after a great battle with Revs Martin, you didn't get too much screen time of it, but if you saw the telemetry during the race, you'd see those guys got into a second each other now and then. David Jones in 11th place, and then Justin in 12th. Well done to you. So, wow, what is your thought right now?
Oh, just pure chaos. I think so many highlights from all of these drivers. First of all, Toasty coming out of the top of that four-way battle that eventually turned into a five-car battle,
Especially
and
with the
then
amount of contact that was made too.
yeah, exactly. I think Toasty managed to weave his way across there very, very well, and obviously well done to Curb for absolutely pacing very, very well, dominating as usual, as he always does, as he's racing from the lead. And Super Crusher as well, doing very, very well. Just absolutely no mistakes from what I've saw in the telemetry. And just the unfortunate fact that the convertible is underfueled.
Yeah, which will the race will be at a longer distance next season. And yeah, just Muktosi, looking at how he did last time, the LMP, he came 7th with a best lap of 1 minute 22.9. And just to see how much he improved, 1 minute 20.5 and a second place. Oh my god. I was going to say, there's so many drivers who I would say got my
Immortalis
driver
has
of the
been the
day
most
today, but
entertaining
yeah, I gave
one
you know
for
what else.
sure.
You saw the amount of overtakes that guy made, especially at turn 5. It was so brilliant to
That
watch and so much fun. Immortalis
each
is definitely
time
one of
he
my
came
favorite
out,
drivers tonight.
each time he came out in front of the pack, he's made a mistake and always made it interesting. And
And managed to come
and
back and make more overtakes as the race goes on as well.
yeah, didn't make too big of a mistake as well, but just made things interesting in general. And I think he still landed in the podium spot, but yeah, just
None of us were going to
especially
be
the
able to predict
dramatic
who got that
finish.
podium start in the end.
Oh,
Even the
for
second
sure.
place was toasty.
I thought it would be Hamish, but I remembered his fuel state, so
Hey, he
as
still
of
did well with the
Wednesday.
fourth place even.
Yeah, yeah, for
It was
sure.
very
Yeah.
well. But yeah, that's definitely my favourite race so far this season. I bet it can be yours too. And we will be at Fuji next week for round 6. It will be an hour earlier for a reminder for you LMP2 drives ahead, but hopefully you'll be able to make some points up as well there, Toast. I mean, yeah, Taijo. So unlucky for tonight, but hopefully you'll be able to make up for it next week.
Oh, I'll try. Hopefully, I'll give you guys a show there, just like the rest of these drivers did.
Yeah, and as you always do, the drivers have been great. You've been great, Taijo and Wingsby, and that's the end of tonight. What a great race we've had. Yes, thank you.